BG themselves, while you are left to endure the weight of it. Inside you rests something they tampered with. Not a chip made of silicon or metal, but a spiritual implant woven deep into your being. They try to shape your responses, embedding triggers that could be activated at will. By altering how you react, they sought to control how the world would perceive you. But I have seen it all. I was there, not physically, but in spirit, when they began this cruel programming. Their tools were not machines, but words. Guilt to weaken you, shame to bind you, fear to silence you. You were never destined to cry this often. You were never meant to doubt every choice. You were never designed to shrink back from your own power. Yet that hidden chip was created to suppress you, to make you forget who you truly are. I never gave them permission. I never allowed them to rewrite your story with confusion and fear. But they deceived you, and because their lies wore the mask of authority and affection, you believed them. They weaponized what looked like love, turning it into control, and now they watch eagerly to see if their experiment succeeds. Every time you hesitate, they feel victorious. Every time you silence your true voice, they tighten their grip. But no more. I'm stepping in now. You are being observed, not only by them, but by a higher authority. A divine investigation has already begun. I saw what happened in the shadows last night. I witnessed the secret exchanges, the whispers they thought were hidden. They believe you are blind to their schemes, but they are wrong. They cheer for your struggles, but I have come to fill the emptiness they left behind. You will feel it, your real self awakening, your intentions sparking like fire. For I, the Lord your God, will not allow this plot to continue. Yes, you're under watch, but not from governments or strangers. It is those closest to you, people who once held your trust, even those bound to you by family ties. This betrayal cuts deeply because it was born from intimacy. They took what was holy and twisted it into a snare. Yet they overlooked something critical. I was watching too. Every secret message, every false report, every record of their hidden surveillance, all of it lies exposed before me. They think their plans are safe, but I have already revealed them to my angels. Archangel Michael himself now stands at your side, prepared to bring their deceit into the light. Soon, a memory will rise to the surface, one you brushed aside, one connected to a person you excuse too often. Do not dismiss it this time. That moment of clarity will be the signal. The false programming within you is dissolving. I am dismantling the lies. Every false label they stamped upon you is being stripped away. You are not a puppet. You are not a machine. You are my beloved child. Those who spied on you with malice will regret the day they chose to target you. Remember the time when you nearly broke, your chest tightening, your breath shallow, your body numb? That was no ordinary stress. It was interference. They attempted to trigger that implanted response, hoping you would collapse. But you did not. Even when you couldn't understand why, you clung to life. That was me breathing strength into your lungs, commanding your heart to keep beating, reminding you that your story is not finished. Their surveillance has failed because they misjudged the divine spark within you. Still, be cautious. They're planning again. They will try subtle tactics, veiled remarks, manipulative praise, emotional traps. But I'm cutting those ties now. Confusion will scatter their ranks. Their hold over you will crumble. A divine barrier surrounds you, sealing your spirit. No code can crack it. No darkness can cross it. You are becoming untouchable, unseen by their intrusive gaze. And why have they done this? Because you hold something they desire. Not money, not titles, but divine light. They recognized your destiny before you did. They saw your strength before you could name it. Instead of honoring it, they tried to chain it. Control is the very root of manipulation. but I am tearing down every false word spoken over you, every bond of fear they wrapped around your heart. You may feel weary now, but it is not weakness. It is your soul shedding the old layers, preparing for renewal. Let the process happen. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to scream, release it. But know this, I am with you through it all. I do not abandon. I do not fail. I guard your soul, and my protection is flawless. And now, I have established a new form of divine surveillance around you. These angels are not passive watchers. They're defenders, warriors who encircle you, standing guard day and night. Some of the protectors surrounding you have been with humanity since the beginning. Ancient guardians who fought for your awareness long before you realized their presence. Others are newly assigned to walk beside you in this chapter of your journey. They do not rest. They do not waver. They do not fear the shadows that have stalked you, for they were created precisely for this moment in your life. You are not alone. Even when spies surround you, you are never alone. I have heard the whispers spoken about you, the conversations where they branded you as toxic, the mocking tones where they dismissed your discernment, the careless claims that you were simply overthinking. But tell me, who is laughing now? When the truth rises to the surface, when the masks slip away, when their secret evidence is dragged into the light, they will regret the day they dared to call you crazy. Your intuition has always been whole. It was not broken, it was holy. Your instincts were never flawed. They were a sacred radar, divinely tuned to protect you. Soon, you will notice some people creating distance. Do not chase after them. That is me clearing the way, unplugging their influence from your identity. Let them go. Some only love the version of you who is blind to the truth. Now that you are awakening, your growth makes them uneasy, and that is as it should be. Discomfort is the price of freedom. Among them is one who knows more than they reveal. They have been strangely quiet, torn within themselves. I have been stirring their conscience, and guilt is pressing heavily upon them. Do not pressure them. Leave them to me. I will decide whether they confess openly or whether I place the truth directly into your hands. Either way, you will not be left behind in the dark. I am breaking every chain, dismantling every deception that has held you captive. I am shining the truth so brightly that no shadow can remain. You were chosen for this revelation not to weigh you down, but to empower you. You will step out sharper, wiser, transformed. You will not return to who you once were. You will not hand over your trust without discernment. You will no longer justify your boundaries. You will not apologize for protecting your spirit, because now you understand. Once you see the truth, you can never go back to ignorance. And so, I give you a divine key, not a metal one, but a sacred code, a phrase that will rise within you when anxiety presses against your chest. It will come at the exact moment you need it. When you hear it, write it down. Meditate on it. That phrase will be your access point to clarity when confusion tries to return. You are never insane. You are never too fragile. You are never too emotional. You were targeted precisely because you were chosen. But now the tables have turned. The watchers will become the watched. The manipulators will be unmasked. The deceivers will choke on their own schemes. And you will rise in light, in truth, in strength. You are no longer beneath their dominion. You are shielded under my protection. So remain vigilant, not from fear, but from wisdom. Do not walk in paranoia, walk in power. Speak less, observe more. Trust the nudges of your spirit. When you sense my presence, lean into it. I will never lure you into traps. I will only lead you into truth. The dismantling has already begun. You will feel the residue of the old programming fall away piece by piece. Soon, you may barely recognize yourself, and that is good. That is liberation. That is what it feels like when the false chip dissolves, when the surveillance is broken, when the divine order takes over. This is not your end. It is your rebirth, the unveiling of the unmonitored you, the healed, unaltered self I designed before the world. And as I speak these words, remember this. I am still watching, not as they watched, not with malice or control, but as a loving father, a relentless protector, a God who will not allow his child to be toyed with any longer. You are free now, and nothing they do can reverse it. Stay alert, stay holy, stay awake. Heaven's eyes are upon you, and they are filled not with suspicion, but with love. So hear me, be still. This is not a warning born of fear. It is a promise born of protection. I am speaking directly to your spirit, for what you feel is not imagination. The eyes you sense are real. You have been watched, not to celebrate you, not to shield you, but to control you. And these are not distant strangers. They are close enough to touch your soul. They are no ordinary watchers. They study your rhythms, your emotions, your very energy. They cannot grasp the fullness of your light, so they try to dim it. They cannot understand your purpose, so they attempt to divert your path. But I have seen everything, not just their actions, but the twisted motives behind them. I saw when they granted one another permission to invade what was never theirs, your spirit, your story, your sanctity. Yes, there's a chip inside you, not of wires or circuits, but of trauma, of manipulation, of voices that told you to distrust yourself. It is a program coded through emotional triggers and mental conditioning. Every hesitation, every silenced word, every pause before you dared to speak truth, those were not failures. That was their programming at work. But listen to me closely. I did not authorize this installation. I gave no one permission to overwrite your identity with fear, guilt, or shame. The blueprint I designed for you was radiant, bold, unbreakable. And now I have come to reclaim you were never meant to shrink. You were never meant to doubt your instincts. They feared your power. They knew if they could control your responses, they could distort how others saw you. And every time you held back, every time you silenced your gift, they thought they had won. But this ends here. You're no longer under their command. You are under divine observation. Heaven is not just watching. Heaven is acting. A spiritual investigation is already underway. I saw their deeds in the dark. I heard their whispered plots. I watched them treat your pain as a puzzle to dissect. But I was listening, too, and I recorded it all. There exists a spiritual record with your name on it. Inside it lies the truth, the betrayals, the stolen moments, the secret messages, the silent treatments, the mocking laughter spoken when you weren't in the room. They thought these things would remain hidden forever. They were wrong. Archangel Michael already holds that record, and soon it will be unsealed in the realm of truth. The implant they placed within you is being dissolved even now. You will feel it, a sudden clarity, a shift in your perception. Memories will return, not to torment you, but to reveal the subtle clues you once overlooked. A word spoken too sharply, a glance that lingered too long, a reaction you brushed aside. These fragments are divine breadcrumbs, guiding you to full awakening. Do not resist them. Do not be afraid. For the true surveillance, the divine kind, has already taken its place. You were observed, not by governments, but by those you once loved and trusted. People who hid envy beneath the mask of affection. People who used the access to your heart as leverage against you. Some bore the titles of family. Others called themselves friends. But they crossed a sacred boundary, one I will not allow them to cross again. They trespassed into your soul, twisted your goodness into evidence, and turned your trust into a weapon. But they forgot something critical. I was watching as well. I have released a legion of angels, not to merely observe, but to defend. These are not passive messengers, but fierce warriors. They do not drift idly in the heavens. They are stationed with precision. Some have guarded your lineage across generations. Others have been dispatched solely for this exact moment in your life. They are swift, unyielding, and tireless. Even now, they surround you. And every spiritual device planted in your heart is being dismantled one by one. You are not paranoid. You are perceptive. That heaviness in your chest was not simple anxiety. It was interference. Someone tried to trigger you, hoping to see you crumble. They whispered poison disguised as politeness. But I was there, steadying your breath, keeping your heart strong, anchoring your soul. For your mission is too important to be sabotaged by their shadow games. But hear this truth, they have not stopped. The Watchers are still at work. They are experimenting with new tactics, subtler manipulation, delayed responses, passive aggression, backhanded words. Yet I am scattering their strategy. I will blur their vision in the spirit. Their signals will glitch. Their access will be blocked. Their code will no longer run within your system. I am sealing your soul with divine encryption. You are becoming invisible. And why were you targeted? Because you carry divine light, a frequency so radiant they cannot produce it themselves. You were chosen to shift timelines, to heal generations, to lead simply by existing as your true self. But rather than honor what they saw, they feared it. Unable to comprehend, they sought to control. Yet now I am reclaiming you. Every hidden trigger, every false phrase wrapped in the disguise of love, every fear they implanted, I am dismantling it all. Your exhaustion is not weakness. It is the release of lies your spirit no longer carries. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to tremble, let pass through you. This is not collapse. This is breakthrough. I am not only removing the chip. I am rewriting your code. Soon you will see people clearly, without the masks. Some will withdraw. Do not run after them. Their silence is my cleansing. Their absence is my shield. They only love the version of you that was asleep. Now that you are awake, your presence disturbs their comfort. That discomfort is theirs to bear, not yours. Let them go. Pay close attention to the quiet ones. There is one among them who knows more than they have admitted. The weight of guilt is heavy on their heart. Leave them to me. I will either stir a confession from their lips or deliver the truth to you by another path. Either way, you will not remain in darkness. This is the season of exposure. Every lie spoken against you, every smear whispered in secret, every act of manipulation hidden in shadows. I'm tearing away the veil. You are never crazy. You are never broken. Your sensitivity has always been sacred. Your intuition has always been my divine radar. What you felt but could not prove, it will all be revealed. And though the truth may shake you, it will also free you. Listen closely now. I will place a phrase within your spirit. Not ordinary words, but a vibration, a sacred key. When anxiety rises, it will rise louder. When confusion swirls, it will cut through like a sword of light. When it comes, write it down. Repeat it when fear presses in. This will be your password to peace. The watchers will themselves be watched. The liars will be exposed. The betrayers will be silenced. And you will rise. You will walk with clarity, with your energy guarded, your truth unshaken, your spirit intact. You're no longer under their gaze. You're under my wing. So move wisely, not in fear, but in discernment. Trust the nudges. Protect your peace. Speak when I lead. Remain silent when I signal. You are not alone. I am here as a father, a shield, a God who will no longer permit his creation to be corrupted. You are free now, and nothing they do can change.